Good afternoon once again, guys. As the general evaluator of this meeting, when Toastmaster Hulak introduced the word proceed, I was just trying, like, I'm waiting for Sunday to come and go to my boss and say, please proceed with my increment. Right. So I think a wonderful word that we can use a lot of times. Let's begin the general evaluation as explained by DTM Rahim, that my role is to see overall how this 34th meeting went from the beginning till the end. So let's talk about the first role, which was Sergeant at Arms, and for that role, it was the General Evaluator. So I, you guys will be the best persons to evaluate how it went. But I think let's talk about as a role and as a character. I think it was well done. It showed the energy of the speaker and telling the rules and regulations, since it is not a physical meeting, so the rules and regulations are less, but it's still the taboo topics, which is very important because quite a times the meetings are recorded, so we should consider not to talk about those topics because it's very important to know that what you're not supposed to tell. All right. And after that, right after the Sergeant at Arms, there was the president role, and due to the we had no the actual president available, so again the Sergeant at Arms had to play the role of acting president as well. And I think it went so well by introducing the guest, because I could see on the camera a lot of guests were there and they felt, I believe, welcomed, because whenever someone comes to your home, you try first to interact with them and then you come up with information, which I briefly touched upon because of the timing. The more in my opinion, humble opinion, the role of a president, acting or actual, is to set the tone of a meeting with a speech, obviously to motivate, because this is the time when someone new has joined and they are going to see your show. And after that, there was the TMOD. I'll keep it at the end as general evaluator before I go to other role players. So we had timer, Toastmaster Ashraf. Glad to see him after a long time back on stage, virtual stage again. And I hope he will keep continuing. And about the role, I think he explained very well. One request to Toastmaster Ashraf to take time. It's your time. Nobody is going to take it away from you. Take time, say words clearly, take pauses, so that the whole purpose of communication is to make the other person understand you. So if you take time, if you share the confidence while speaking, and I'm sure that it will come after practice and practice, so it will be more natural. So when you're sounding, it shouldn't be like you are reading from somewhere, some paper. It should show that you are giving information, you are interacting, and you are talking. So let's move on. The next role player, the word of the day, the word proceed. Not a very rare word, a word that we use a lot of time in our personal professional career, but it was meant to be used in this particular meeting. Good choice of the word. And I think the usage, it would have been better if Toastmaster Akhlaq would have taken a Robin round. So he could have asked all the participants to use the word of the day in their sentences, and they could have used it. And we could have seen more actively the word being used in the meeting. And one more thing, it would be better if you, in the future, or anyone who has this role could come up with a PowerPoint, a presentation, so that you can show the word or a picture that how someone is proceeding, or GIF or video, whatever it is, so that it should be in the mind of the audience and the speakers, and they would use it, utilize it more often. So well done on that. Toastmaster Archer, the grammarian, well done on that. Toastmaster Archer was I would say that very attentive grammarian, because she has noticed all the good usage, like errors also, What I would suggest her is to make note of expressions also. Like there were a lot of expressions, quotations, especially from the TMOD's speech. So you will have a good collection of those expressions, which anyone and all the speakers they can also use them. Coming to the prepared speaker, number one, we had two speakers, and unfortunately or fortunately, for any reason, first thing I would request this is the commitment. And if there is no real something serious, we should come up with our commitment. And let's talk about the first speaker, the very first speech. Wow, like someone who has been the guest the previous meeting, and now she's a speaker, and someone who has been already evaluated. So not much evaluation, but just to see, like it's all about how quick you take the decision. There are people who have been coming for years and years, and they're not yet Toastmasters. So it is all about taking quick decision, right decision in your life. And I think she is on the way, and she's going to rock as a professional speaker very soon, inshallah. And Toastmaster Rasa. And after that, we had a table topic session conducted by someone who has been always like a motivating part, as if I compare as a public speaker, someone who has I've always loved to see on a stage the way she talks, the way she brings up, especially with the creative ideas in table topic, which is really the demand of this session. It should be something like, give you some brilliant ideas and motivates you to speak about. The topics were really good, and all the speakers, they were called upon the stage, they felt good to talk about. And especially I love the idea that the topics are very much related to the personal stories, taking example of me as the first speaker, and then going to all the other Toastmasters and participants. So one thing I could notice was that everybody tried to use the personal story, and somewhere they could relate from their personal and life experience. So well done, a dynamic Toastmaster. Iram, I hope inshallah you are soon going to be the DTM distinguished one as well. We had then the only one, because we had one speaker, so one evaluator, Toastmaster Saima Rauf. Very well done, like I would say, very balanced evaluation of the first speaker. It is the very first speech when someone delivers on a stage, and coming up with such a nice idea that motivating on one hand, and then giving two brilliant tips, especially for these virtual meetings. I would say it was really apt, and I hope that Toastmaster Rasa will follow, and she will implement in the future speeches as well. Coming back now, TMOD. Let me see him where he is. TMOD, this role is very important, and very full of a very responsible kind of role it is, because it takes a lot of time, effort, and courage. And as I have already mentioned, it is the host. And if you have hosted any meetings, like any engagement, any party at your home, how stressed you are, and you have to keep the energy flowing from the very beginning till the end, because you are the host, and everybody else, you have to come up with so many introductions, you have to come up with so many ideas, you have to stick always with the rules and regulations, being in the time frame, and a lot of responsibility it has. And the way he has spoken and taken throughout the entire meeting, I would really commend about his role today, and especially when there is crisis. What I mean by it, there is no financial crisis, or no share market has just gone down. The crisis of the role players, when they are not showing up, and then it is really tough to manage. One man cannot show up and cannot do everything. So what I would request genuinely from all the members, because when you become members, it has a responsibility. If you're not member, you're a guest, you come, you go, nobody cares. But when you are a member, everybody cares, and you take your care because you have signed and you have invested your money, the fee. So you are now a responsible, like an adult kid of the family. Okay, so take responsibility, show up, help the leaders, help the one who has taken the role. Otherwise, if I talk about this role, having seen so much ups and downs in the meeting, I would keep like a well balanced meeting, very well done, and I hope he keeps it up in the future. And that's it from my end, I believe. So overall, the meeting went really well. What I would love to see in the future is more energy, a little. If I've seen almost every meeting, so a little more energy, little more commitment, and I hope that's with the combination of experienced Toastmasters and with the new Toastmaster whom I'm seeing, they're really doing great job, especially Toastmaster Bia, who has seen the great impact on her, Toastmaster Archa, whom we have seen a great like improvement in her. So these are the new faces, and I would love to see the good combination of the club. And I wish the club keep growing, keep bringing more members, keep helping more people to achieve their dreams of public speaking and leadership. Thank you so much, DTM Rahim. The stage is back to you.